I've started a new world in the 1.20 update, and this is episode 2. In the last episode, we built up this beautiful little house, made ourselves a camel friend, discovered a desert village, and got full iron armor and tools. And in this episode, I'd like to finish building our first starter base, because so far it looks pretty good, but it's really not finished. So the very first thing that I want to start doing is filling in the rest of these walls with some terracotta. And then on this very last wall, I think I'm going to do something different because I've completely run out of terracotta and we've pretty much scraped everything that I can get out of the village. So to add kind of a different pop, I think I'm going to go with some sandstone. Just like that. And now what I need to do is start filling in the floor. Mined up some cobblestone, now we can smelt it and add it to the floor. Just like this. And then finally, we need to add in some windows. I'd also like to make just a little bit of a trapdoor wall right here, just to separate the kitchen and chest area from the bedroom. And then right here in the corner, we can add a little bit of a staircase going up to the second floor. And now with the first floor all complete, we have a beautiful chest room, and right across from it, a nice little kitchen and a trapdoor wall separating the bedroom from the kitchen area. And then finally, there is a nice little staircase all the way up to the second floor, where now we can start working on. And for the second floor walls, I'm going to use some dark oak logs and some sandstone. I'm just going to start with a dark oak wood trim and using some dark oak wood to build up the base of the walls. And then we can start filling in the walls with some sandstone. Then we can start adding all of our glass panes into these window frames. And then finally, we just need to work on the roof. And to do that, I think I'm going to use some bricks as the outline, and then use some jungle planks for the center of the roof. Kind of like that for the roof shape. And then I ended up taking this area out over here on the right because I realized in the build that I'm referencing that there's actually another little section of roof that I want to include, which unfortunately does make that upper room just a little bit smaller, but I think overall it will make the build look much better. So now that we've got that figured out, let's start working on filling in the roof. Just like that. And I even added a couple trapdoors, if you can see them, just along the lines where we had full blocks, so that there wasn't any creepers or skelly boys spawning on the roof. Unfortunately, one spawned down here though. Gonna have to fix that eventually. But now that the roof is complete, I would like to do one last thing for this episode before I run out of time, and that is going and getting a cow, a chicken, and some sheep. So if we run on in here, we hopefully should have some seeds and some wheat, if these llamas will get out of the way. Seeds and wheat. And now we just need to hope that all of the animals that were spawned here before haven't despawned. Here's one chicken and a sheep, and if I dual wield these items, I should be able to just collect all of them. Here's chicken number 2 and 2 cows over here, and then I see a sheep all the way over there in the distance, but I think I might bring these guys back to the house before I go grab him. And here's the chickens, here's the cows, and here's the sheep. And just to make it a little bit easier on myself, I may as well come in here and grab some of the carpets that I have and throw these on the corner of each of the pens. That way I should be able to just jump right in and out. And just for fun, we'll put a green carpet in the kitchen. And then the next farm that I want to take care of, using the wheat seeds that we used to lure in all those chickens, we're gonna plant it right next to them. Just gonna be pure torture for those poor guys. So if I craft myself up a stone hoe really quick, we can head over to the ocean side, and I think right here should be perfect. We can just clear out a little bit of this excess dirt. That way we have some space to grow some crops, and I'm not too worried about making this look too pretty just because I don't plan on this being a permanent farm. This is just something temporary so that we do have a source of food. So for now, it will probably look a little bit wonky, but that's okay. So just like that, we have a patch of dirt that we can now start tilling, and I believe that most of this should be close enough to the water that we shouldn't have any issue with the crops drying up. The only issue I really have is I really don't have enough seeds, but this should be enough to get us started. And while we're in the mood for making all of our farms, I may as well see if we have some sugarcane. and it looks like we do not. We do have carrots. Unfortunately, we can't make bookshelves out of carrots. So we're gonna plant that down right there and head off over in this direction and see if we can find ourselves some sugarcane, just like this one. And unfortunately, there's only 3, but we should be able to deal with that just for now. Like I said, these aren't going to be permanent farms, so they don't have to be very efficient or very pretty. They just need to get me going as I'm starting the world. And I know this looks really weird from this side. The roof is hanging over slightly because I plan on making kind of a balcony area on that side just to counter the cutting the building in half on the other side. That way we eventually have the exact same amount of room, just kind of displaced. And now that we have our sugarcane, we can go ahead and put that right here. And I will count that as a functional sugarcane farm. Not efficient, not pretty, but functional. And finally, I think I lied. The last thing I want to do besides the farms is go out and find my camel. Not really sure where he's wandered off to. Hopefully not into too much trouble, but we should probably find him before it gets to that point. Oh, there he is. Okay, he didn't wander too far. The house is right over there. I'm glad he didn't get stuck in a cave or something. He's smart enough to at least wander above ground. Come here, buddy. It's time to go home. I gotta show you all the progress that we made this episode. And I actually have a lead now to hold you here. That way you won't be running away and getting into trouble, like these two. But with all of that done, I think that it is finally time for a little bit of a house tour. I know I kind of showed you guys as I was building it, but I figure it's always nice to have a final tour. So this is the outside of the building. I think it looks pretty good. I like the contrast between the woods and the sandstone and the terracotta. I think those colors all went very nicely together. And then as you go through the front door, you're greeted by a big old chest area. And if you turn to your right, you have a cute little cabinet with a kitchen area where I keep all of my furnaces. I felt that was really fitting to put them in there. And then right next to the kitchen is a divider that's keeping the bedroom away from all of the noise and the chaos of all those guys out there. And as we head up these stairs, I actually really liked the design of these. I don't usually do corner stairs, so that was kind of fun to do. Then we're able to see the second floor, which I haven't done anything with it this episode, but I think that it has a really cool roof design that I usually end up covering up how the roofs look or making them a little more gradient, stuff like that, but I actually really like how this looked just on its own. So I might leave that. And as for what's going to actually go on this floor, I'll probably end up putting an enchanting room, just a little library up here. All of our potions, anvils, all of the late game stuff is going to be up here. And of course the animals that we just all put out here. We've got all of our animal farms that look like they're doing pretty good so far, especially the little baby chicken. He's just so cute. I love the baby animals in Minecraft. And of course our very janky wheat farm and sugarcane farm. Eventually, I think we should probably make a place for these animals to stay as well. And this area kind of got left behind this video, but eventually I'm going to put another curved roof right up here, and there will be a giant wheel heading into the ocean right here. I don't really remember what they're called, but they're the giant water wheels. I think that's literally what it's called. It's a water wheel. So that will be there eventually. But those are all just plans for future episodes. So if you enjoyed this episode at any point in time, consider subscribing because I would love to see you guys in the next episode. And speaking of which, here's a couple more videos that I think that you guys would enjoy.